From the SoKing Newsroom, here's your weekly local news recap. I'm Stephen Vier. On the evening of July 25th, the King County Sheriff's Office, along with other local police, responded to a domestic violence call where a male suspect was believed to be hiding and possibly barricaded inside an apartment at the Sunrise Terrace condominiums. The complex is located in the Glendale neighborhood of unincorporated King County in the 10400 block of Des Moines Memorial Drive. According to reports, a pregnant female at that location called police and said her boyfriend had choked her and repeatedly punched her. She was able to flee the apartment and call 911. When deputies arrived, the victim said the male suspect was still in the apartment and that there were guns present. Deputies tried numerous times to talk to the man, but because the man did not answer the door, SWAT and negotiators were called to the scene. Through a friend, police were finally able to phone the suspect. He informed them that he had in fact fled the apartment before deputies arrived. The suspect has not yet been arrested, according to police. More at whitecenterblog.com. At its July 25th meeting, the King County Council voted 5-3 to approve legislation refining existing land use regulations concerning the growth, processing, and retail sale of marijuana in unincorporated areas. The Council adopted legislation to allow retail marijuana stores in geographic areas where none exist currently, to require separation between retailers in areas where multiple shops already exist, and to limit growing, production, and processing facilities in rural areas to zones with lots that are 10 acres or larger. Production and processing facilities continue to be allowed in previously permitted zones such as agricultural and industrial areas. The action also calls for a broader study of marijuana land uses in unincorporated King County, including further potential expansion of retail in neighborhood business zones. The county is currently under a 4-month moratorium on the acceptance of applications for or the establishment or location of marijuana producers, processors, and retailers in unincorporated areas. The approved ordinance will end the moratorium. It goes into effect 10 days after receiving signature from King County Executive Dow Constantine. Details at whitecenterblog.com. There was a large fire and emergency response the evening of July 28th at Burien's Dragon Pearl restaurant. Officials say that a large amount of smoke was observed coming from the restaurant. Upon arriving at the scene, officials discovered that the smoke, seen coming from the downstairs area of the restaurant, was due to burnouts being performed by members of a motorcycle club. The club apparently uses that area as a regular meeting place. If you are not familiar with the term burnout, in this case, it is typically the practice of keeping a motorcycle stationary while spinning its rear wheel on the pavement, thereby causing the tire to heat and smoke due to friction. It is considered a form of entertainment by the motorcycle's operator, and don't bother asking why. Fire Chief Mike Mars told the B-Town blog that after confirming that there was no fire at the scene, fire personnel departed, leaving the police to deal with the incident. More at btownblog.com. If you want to make a difference in someone's life and your community and can keep your cool in emergency situations, the King County Sheriff's Office may have the career for you. They are accepting applications for 911 communication specialists. As a 911 operator, you will work in partnership with law enforcement, where you will serve as the primary contact for citizens calling the county's 911 emergency call center. Communication specialists answer a high volume of calls. Some are routine non-emergency calls from citizens, while others are associated with life or death emergencies. The position reportedly provides a good salary with excellent benefits. King County will be accepting applications until August 19th. You can find an online application at kingcounty.gov/jobs. Details at btownblog.com.
Expect a very pleasant weekend ahead as we see temperatures in the mid-70s to low 80s, a perfect opportunity to get outside and enjoy the beautiful weather and the clear skies, especially since we do expect a change in the beginning of next week. We do see a low pressure system start to move into the region and change over to a more showery, possibly some thunder as well in this pattern coming up. Enjoy the weather while we have it. Thanks for listening. I'm Chris Gregg, your Puget Sound Weather Geek.
Studies show that kids who play an instrument develop stronger communication abilities, have greater brain development, and have a very high graduation rate. But right now, some kids in the Highline School District won't have that opportunity because they simply don't have an instrument. You can help. By drinking beer and listening to the blues. The Rotary Club of Des Moines and Normandy Park, Washington proudly presents the 7th annual Poverty Bay Blues and Brews Festival, Saturday, August 27th. This epic blues extravaganza is the prime fundraiser for our Music for Life program, expanding music to youth in our local schools. Enjoy a day filled with local blues together with a variety of fine brews from area breweries. The festival will be located on the shores of Puget Sound at the Des Moines Beach Park. Advance tickets are just $30 and available at drinktomusic.com. Enjoy some blues, drink some brews, and keep music in our schoos. That's schools. The 7th annual Poverty Bay Blues and Brews Fest, Des Moines, Washington, Saturday, August 27th. drinktomusic.com.
Time now for The Mayne Problem. Commentary from senior writer Jack Mayne.
King County Council members seem to ignore the fact that their latest actions could force far too many marijuana stores into the White Center Skyway unincorporated areas. As Skyway resident Mark Johnston wrote in a letter to the B-Town and White Center blogs, no one who lives in that area wants all of the unincorporated county pot business. The County Council had passed a 4-month moratorium on the establishment or location of marijuana retailers in the area outside of cities. But last Monday, the county replaced the moratorium with yet another study, this one to refine existing land use regulations on stores and other facets of the pot business. Councilmember Joe McDermott voted against the new study, but Councilmember Dave Upthegrove voted for another study. Seems to us we need decisions, not endless studies of a subject that has been studied by federal, state, county, and local officials for years. It should be obvious that the potential of 6 or more marijuana stores in an already economically stressed area is a very bad idea. We agree with letter writer Johnston, who says the latest council action is simply more resistance and obstruction. Voters legalized marijuana, but voters did not intend that a great number of stores be located in one unincorporated part of South King County. We urge the council to spread these legal stores around the entire county, not create a pot gulch in the already beleaguered White Center area.
In the final take, the B-Town blog provides us with a heartwarming example of a simple good deed done right. On Tuesday morning, July 26th, local Girl Scout Troop 46548 traveled to the Burien Police Department, where they surprised officers and staff by dropping off several homemade survival kits for officers. Police wrote on Facebook, "We had a visit from Girl Scouts this morning. They brought us survival kits they made and wanted to thank us for our service. Check out the items they gave us." The kits were made up of simple things placed in clear plastic bags, each with a printed label on the front. Each label reads, Police Officer Survival Kit, followed by a list of the objects included in the bag, mostly candy, along with a description of each item's usefulness to an officer, from a Girl Scout's point of view, of course. Here's the list. Eraser, because you erase all the bad stuff. Gum, to get out of sticky situations. Key, because you are the key to a safe community. Kiss, to remind you that you are loved. Lifesaver, because that's what you are to a whole lot of people. Penny, to keep for a good luck charm. Safety pin, to remind you of all the safety that you provide. Snickers, to remind you that laughter helps everything. Payday, since we know you don't do it for the money. Starburst, for that burst of energy you need after a long shift. And finally, Peppermint Patty, to help you keep your cool. For the Burien Police Department, for all who support our police, and for our listeners, we say thank you to Girl Scout Troop 46548 for making our day. Stephen Vieira, SoKing, Internet Radio News.
SoKing News was created based on a generous grant from JLab's Encore Media Entrepreneurs Program, supported with funding from the Ethics and Excellence in Journalism Foundation and the Nicholas B. Ottaway Foundation.